Someone corrected me that this wasn't the first snow, but I thought it was the first significant one. I keep considering in passing in the past couple of days that in high school, my brief stint in high school, I should say, I had read through the Iliad. It's the first snow of the season. I had to come over here. It looked too pretty. As a class, and I always wanted to write something very specific after that. And I realized that exactly the affairs that I've had in my personal life, it lends itself to that thing that I always wanted to make. And I am very intrigued by that and really excited to work on that project one day. I don't think that I'm at a personal place
Come along now, there's much to see.
yet where I would have the full package of what I want to create. So I'll keep learning and growing and, enjoying all of the aspects of life as we all should. Not a moment is to be felt is wasted, lost, anything. I mean, sure, you can waste your time.
Look at it, so pretty.
But you can always make something out of it if you want to. Go make some sort of motivational thing about not wasting your time then. There's always a positive that you can make out of it. And yeah, I've just been thinking how I'm very appreciative that really the things that I think I've always wanted, I do think that I get them. And I think we all do. It's hard for me to hear, honestly, these days when someone's like, oh, I'm having the worst day. Like everything's the worst.
Just some deer standing in the snow in the cemetery. I love you, and you're dead.
Why is this happening to me, sort of thing. And I'm like, well, probably because of every decision you've ever made and the karma around you and the karma of those that you keep around you, or however it is. Or they're being prompted to move along to a more optimal way of life. So I figure anything that's going terrible is definitely a chance for things to go better, and is also just, again, part of the ride. You have to have lows to have highs, that nice juxtaposition. I think that's really how you can get to that place of everything being all good when you really appreciate it. I hold myself to that standard. Worst day ever, I'm thinking, okay, so how do I learn from this? That wasn't great. Like if you leave something in the middle of the floor and then kick it later that night, you think, I really shouldn't leave that in the middle of the floor anymore. No matter how terrible something is, I have that mindset. And I think that makes it so that way everything is just an exciting, curious learning experience. Even if it sucks, god awful, you can take complete ownership of it. And then when things go right or add up, you can also take complete ownership of that and really be proud and excited that you've gone along with the energies of life properly, that you've been part of this cohesive package. I think maximum accountability leads to maximum happiness. If you dig for and appreciate the why of everything, I think you can end up in a place of acceptance and appreciation for non-attachment and use your attachment more wisely as well. I'm not saying there isn't a time for pure agony, misery, and mourning, and I mean pure. But on the other side, you have to be able to do something with that. You can't stay there, even if it feels natural for a bit. Sometimes you just need to cry at someone. Not at all that I'm unsympathetic. To the contrary, I'm so empathetic. All I can do is hope that I am helping someone learn to fish instead of handing them the fish of comfort to say, okay, well, what are we going to do about it then? What can we change if there's any kind of problem? But I certainly appreciate as much as anyone how nice it is to just let loose emotion and really feel for yourself in a moment. I don't think we should ever shy away from our emotions because they can be such a fantastic radar for what we need to adjust, whether it's in our physical bodies, our emotional surroundings, the people that we have in our life, how we react to our environment. It's so important to be able to check in with yourself. I just am such a big fan of being around people that love their life and have crafted a world that they enjoy playing and adventuring around in. And in general, feelings are just delicious, so I'd never tell you to not feel one of them for yourself. It's just important that we get back on that horse and make the most out of things. I do believe that we create our realities. We're all co-creators, so we should be collaborating, apparently astrologically, especially around now. I hope you do pay attention to the manifestations, good and bad, the things that you've thought about, that you've felt in your life. As I always hear, feeling is what's important there. The things you actually feel, not just think, are the things that you'll attract and be living out. The world is all a stage and we are merely players, writers, directors, and the whole fucking union, right? So, good show, everyone.